Hello! My name is Weebab.exe, your favorite cute computer virus idol VTuber. Today I thought I would do kind of a different kind of video, or different now I guess, as I'm kind of exploring the kind of content that I want to be making for you guys. Like, I used to make videos like this more often in the past, back in my pre-VTuber days, but I thought it would be fun to just kind of have a more chill vibes, relaxed video where I just talk about the things I have been enjoying this year so far. But because we're like halfway through the year now, pretty much, and I've been streaming and making content as Weebab.exe for almost the same amount of time. Like, I think I started streaming in March, at the end of March. So it's been a few months now. I've been having a lot of fun just hanging out with you guys during streams, and I want to make more video content. It's a little bit, I don't know, just chill, cozy content, so maybe you guys can just, like, listen to, like, a podcast. I don't know, I'm not very good at video editing. I'm doing my best. But maybe this will just be something nice you can listen to and chat in the comments maybe about what your favorite things have been this year so far, if you would like to. I think that might be a lot of fun. But yeah, I thought I would divide this video up into like little categories. I might timestamp them as well so you can skip around if there's a topic that you're more interested in hearing me talk about than others. But the first category I would like to share my favorites from is video games. I've been playing a lot more games this year than I did in the past. I always liked video games, like I liked gaming as a kid, but I was never very good at it, so I didn't play games a lot. Like, mostly I watched other people play games, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, you guys are watching me play games, so like, nothing wrong with that, but like, I just would get so discouraged that I just never put in the effort, I guess, to like actually like beat games. Like, I remember I was talking to someone about it, how like pre-streaming, like before I started like streaming this year, I could probably count on one hand the amount of games that I actually like beat in my life and still have many fingers. Like, I really just didn't finish games as a kid. Which, like, again, isn't a bad thing, but like, this year, since I've started streaming, like, I'm beat a bunch of games now. Like, not a ton, like, maybe compared to others, like, I'm still, you know, amateur numbers, whatever, but, like, I'm starting to run out of fingers. So, that's making me really happy. I'm feeling really satisfied with myself for finally, like, pushing myself to actually play games and kind of succeed at them. You guys are encouraging me to keep playing and get through games that I may have otherwise given up on. So yeah, thanks. Thanks, guys. But the first game I want to talk about that I've fallen head over heels for this year is Omori. Omori is just such a good game. I love the balance it has between being really whimsical and silly, and also being really, like, heavy and dark, and in some places even kind of scary. Like, I wouldn't qualify it quite as a horror game, but it definitely has horror elements to it, which I really like. But I think even if we're just ignoring the story aspect and just like as a game that I have played, like, I loved how fun it was for me, which I feel like in the past, even the games that I really loved, I don't know if I was really having fun back then because I was struggling so hard and not really like feeling like they were attainable for me to beat. So I guess not being like, I don't know, motivated or just like wanting to keep playing because I would get stuck and then get frustrated and then not be having fun anymore. But I had so much fun playing this game. Even the parts that were hard, mainly the boss fights, were still so fun. Like, I loved the boss fights in this game, actually, which I was so surprised by, because usually boss fights are the thing that ruins games for me. Like, if I struggle too hard on a boss, I'll be like, never mind, I'll touch this game again, maybe in a year, and I'll get stuck again at the same part, and then be like, oh, never mind, this game is not for me. But I pushed myself to get through this game, and I felt so happy and satisfied and proud of myself for doing so. Like, even, like obviously, if you watched these streams, if you watched the VODs, you know that I did struggle quite hard on some of these boss fights. Sweetheart in particular, I think took me like an entire 3-hour stream. Like 3 hours of just fighting Sweetheart. But then I beat her, and it was so satisfying. I felt so proud of myself and so happy for having accomplished that. It was one of the first games I streamed, like my first like LON series, so like it's gonna be real meaningful to me for a long time, I know it. Just the satisfaction I felt playing this game. On top of like the amazing storytelling, the amazing soundtrack, the music in Omori is amazing. I love just going back and listening to the different tracks. Like, especially like the boss music is awesome. It's like every track, from the really lighthearted, cute ones to the really, really unnerving, eerie, creepy ones. It's just all so good. Like, I don't remember its name. There's one particular track that plays a lot that I really love because it kind of sounds like something out of a Kirby game. I love Kirby game music too. It's just everything about Omori is so good. So good. Highly recommend it if you haven't played it before. Definitely. Even if you're not good at games, like if I can beat it, anyone can. On a similar note, I do want to talk about Undertale. I've mentioned this many times. I'm not new to Undertale. I was a fan of Undertale back in the old days. I don't even, like, what did it come out in 2015? That feels like so long ago. But I was a fan of Undertale back when it was a new game. But I never really, I don't think I got as deep into it as other people did at the time. Like, I still really liked it. And like, I remember I watched Dan and Phil play it. I probably watched someone else. I don't remember who. I remember the Dan and Phil series playthrough of it much more vividly. And so I liked Undertale, but I never got like super into it. So I was really pleasantly surprised. Well, not surprised. I knew I was gonna like it because I already liked it. But I had such a lovely time playing through Undertale on stream with you guys. Again, similar to how I feel about Omori, like the whimsy of all of these funny guys, all of these characters. Everyone in Undertale is such a lovable, compelling character. Some really hilarious moments, some really heartwarming or tragic moments. There's so much to love about this game. The music is, again, incredible. I'll probably say that pretty much. I love video game music, okay? Video game soundtracks are so often so peak. And like, Undertale has such good music. And also the boss fights. I'll bring that up too, I guess. They were all quite challenging, to be honest. But I'm really proud of myself for getting through them all. I mean, admittedly, there were a few moments that, you know, the game took pity on me, I think. Like, I distinctly remember, the Papyrus boss fight, where Papyrus himself spared me, and I remember, talking to Vess about it after the stream, that apparently that's not a common happening. Like, most people apparently don't struggle as hard with Papyrus as I struggled. And so, like, they didn't even know that Papyrus had the ability to just spare you, which I think is so funny. But I think that's what I appreciated most about playing through Undertale, is how, like, the game itself wants you to get through it, and the game wants you to, like, experience the story. So if you're not a very skilled gamer. Like, it'll kind of like, the game itself will like make itself easier so that you can get through the tricky part. I really appreciate it because I love video games, but I mean, if you watch my streams, you can obviously tell I'm not great at games, but I still love the storytelling and the atmosphere. So being able to enjoy that and like get through the game even if it's a little bit hard, like I like that. Because if a game is too hard, then like I'll never get to experience the story. And that's what I'm playing for ultimately. I want to enjoy a nice story, but also feel the satisfaction of getting through it myself. And I feel like Undertale made it feel accessible. And I really enjoyed that. A slightly more, I don't want to say obscure, I don't think it's an obscure game, just not as popular maybe, that I played on stream this year was Refined Self. And I was so surprised by how just nice this game was. Like, I didn't really know anything about it going in. I knew that it was like kind of a personality test type game, and that is what it is. It is ultimately like a personality test, but at the same time, the personality test isn't really what the game is about. It actually has a really lovely story and some really lovable, compelling characters, and I was so shocked by it, and I was so like heartwarmed by it. I don't really know how to talk about it because I don't want to spoil the experience. It's a really short game. You can play it in one sitting. That's what I did. It was a one-shot stream. And it was so nice. Like, if you really want... And it's also really easy. Like, it's not challenging at all. It's a game designed to just kind of meander through, which I really love. Like, there's no challenge factor to it. You can definitely get through it in a single sitting and still have a full experience, which I really loved and appreciated. Like, it's sort of a personality test. Like, there is a personality test element to it. It's the kind of game where every choice and action you make, like, fills up a bar, kind of, and, like, once you've made a certain amount of choices, it assesses what you've done and gives you a personality type based on that, but there's so much more to it than that aspect. And it's just really good. Really beautiful game. Highly recommend. On a similar note, kind of, I want to talk about Collective Unconscious, which is a fan game for Yume Nikki. Yume Nikki is one of my favorite video games of all time. I'll probably talk about that more in the future if you guys would like to hear me talk about Yume Nikki. But Collective Unconscious came out earlier this year, I think to like celebrate Yume Nikki's 20th anniversary? Is that what we celebrated this year? Yeah, Yume Nikki's 20 years old. That's crazy. But Collective Unconscious came out this year. It's one of the many Yume Nikki fan games that exist. It's the only one I've played so far. I definitely want to play more Yume Nikki fan games this year though, on stream, because they all look so interesting. But oh my gosh, Collective Unconscious is kind of amazing. I mean, it's the same concept as Yume Nikki. It's a walking simulator. You go through all these different worlds and just experience strange and whimsical, sometimes creepy, sometimes hilarious things. And it's just such good vibes, such wonderful atmosphere. Like, there's so much in this game. And like, it's one of those games where it's being worked on still, like in real time, like it's being constantly updated. It's a collaborative game. Like, it's being made by like a lot of different people, so there's so many varying art styles and concepts and stuff. It's also, I'm pretty sure it's also multiplayer. I've only played a single player, but it's like a kind of a MMO almost, where you can like run around with other people, which is kind of cool. I might try that out at some point. I don't know. But I think it's a really cool concept. I love that that's a thing at all. I'm definitely going to play it again on stream at some point. I just don't know when. I think I might like to wait a little while, just for there to be even more updates, so that I can experience so many new things, because I love how like every time you play, You find new things, and it's like almost a completely different game. I love that. So I'm excited to play it maybe in a few weeks, maybe in a few months, I don't know. But I will definitely come back to it. Definitely. Be on the lookout, that will happen. And then, I guess for one more game I want to talk about that has a completely different vibe than the ones I talked about previously. Princess Peach Showtime. Again, one of the first games I streamed and completed on stream. This game made me so happy. I mean, I love Mario games. I love Nintendo games in general. I'm usually quite terrible at them, but I still love them. There's so much to love about Princess Peach Showtime. I mean, just the fact that it's a Princess Peach game. That she got her own game again. I never played, what's it called? Super Princess Peach? Whatever the, DS era Peach game? I never played that. I would like to, though, at some point in the future. But it's been a while, regardless, that Peach got her own game again, and it was so good. So magical, so cute. I love all of the little guys. It's just such a fun game. And, I know one of the big complaints a lot of people had about this game was how, easy it is. But, yeah, guys, that's why I loved the whole experience playing this. Some might say this game is too easy and it's for little kids. But, that's my exact level. This game was built for me to be able to get through it. There were a few parts that I, struggled a little bit, but none of it felt like an overly difficult challenge. It felt challenging enough that I felt a sense of accomplishment with, each level completed, each boss defeated. It felt good to play. I never got overly frustrated, which I like. I liked a lot. The game felt super attainable, and I could actually make it through to the end, and it was a really satisfying conclusion. I felt really proud of myself for beating this game, even though, again, yes, I'm aware it's a really easy game. A little kid could beat it, but also I could beat it. And actually, honestly though, the boss fights in this game are so fun. I just had so much fun playing this game. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to my next category, which is shows. I haven't watched a ton of new shows this year, but I have quite enjoyed the ones that I have watched, so might as well talk about those. I won't go too in-depth because obviously we discussed it in-depth already for Anime Club, but I do want to talk about Serial Experiments Lain because I loved it a lot. I was actually surprised by how much I enjoyed this. It's one of those shows that it's so iconic, I guess. Where it's one of those shows that you feel like everyone's watched already, except for me. I hadn't watched it yet. So I was a little intimidated going into it because what if I didn't like it? What if I didn't get it? But I did really enjoy this one. It's very unique. It's very different, I think, from what I was anticipating. I didn't really have many expectations going into it. I didn't really know what to expect, but it was so fascinating. It's also a kind of show where I don't really know how to talk about it. Not even just because of spoilers, but more because of how abstract it is. It's really a kind of more of an experience than anything else. And I've only watched it once so far, but I definitely want to rewatch it a few times because I feel like it's the kind of show where with every watch you notice more things because there's so much going on, so many characters, but also just so many concepts that it explores. It's kind of insane, but in a really good way, and I really liked it. I really liked it. As for new, recently released anime, I'm terrible at keeping up with new anime releases, honestly. I want to be better because there's always really interesting sounding shows airing every season, but I'm not good at keeping up with things. But I did somewhat keep up with A Sign of Affection when that was airing, and I really loved it. I love shoujo. Like, I need to get more into it. There's a lot of really good shoujo out there that I haven't seen yet. But I really was interested in this one. One thing I appreciate about this one in particular is that it's actually set in college. I feel like it's really rare to find anime that is not set in high school. I feel like most of the popular ones, especially if they're more romance leaning, are almost always in high school, which I don't mind. I don't mind that at all. I still quite enjoy those shows as well. But the fact that this one, they're adult characters and they're college students, I really liked that about it. I also really enjoyed the way it depicted our main character, Yuki, who is deaf, and she uses sign language, and she's like teaching sign language to the main love interest. It was just such a nice, like, cozy kind of anime. Like, with the wintertime setting, I love anytime an anime is set, or anytime a story in general is set during the winter, and like all the characters are wearing like winter clothes, like warm sweaters and coats. I don't know, that just feels so cozy to me. Maybe just because that's just my favorite time of year. I love when it's cold and you can wear warm clothes. So with that, mixed with the beautiful animation, it's just such a stunning to look at anime, and all of the characters are so lovely. It feels just very warm and kind, and I like that a lot. I like that so much. I definitely want to read the manga at some point because I have an itching feeling that we're not gonna get a second season. So if I want to know what happens next, I should probably read the manga. Which is unfortunate because I would love more of the anime. Because it was so good. Mostly this year I've been rewatching anime that I've already seen because nostalgia. It's comforting. Rewatching shows that I like makes me happy. Probably my favorite rewatch I've been doing, slowly, because it's a very long one, is Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is probably the only, like, major long-running shonen that I like. I don't generally like the popular shonen anime. They just don't really do it for me personally. But Fairy Tail is my exception. I really like Fairy Tail. And rewatching it has just been so nice. Like, I actually weirdly feel like I'm enjoying it more now than I did back when I was a teenager, which I'm surprised by. Like, it's just so fun. And I love these characters so much. The main reason I'm currently watching it is just because there's a new Fairy Tail anime out now, the 100 Years Quest, which makes me so freaking excited and happy, honestly. It's crazy to me that there's still new Fairy Tail content coming out. Like, I didn't really keep up a lot with Fairy Tail. Like, I never finished the anime, because it's quite long. I don't know if I'll ever be fully caught up on Fairy Tail. But I didn't realize, I thought 100 Years Quest was like a short side story just to be like, this is where they are now. But apparently it's like also long running, like it might go on for a while. So like there's a chance I'm gonna have an unlimited supply of Fairy Tail content. And that makes me happy because it's just one of those fictional worlds that like I just love being immersed in. I love how endless it feels. It helps that like these are some of my favorite anime characters. Like I love the whole cast. All of them. They feel like family to me, okay? I'm really loving this rewatch. I'm almost up to my favorite story arc. I really loved the Edelus arc back when I first watched many years ago, and I'm really excited to rewatch it for the first time. It's been a while, but I am so freaking hype. It's gonna be so good. I also recently rewatched Ouran High School Host Club. Interestingly enough, I rewatched it with my mom, and it was a really interesting experience because my mom has been decidedly not a fan of anime, and I've been trying to get her to watch anime with me for years, and like most of the shows I showed her just did not stick. But I did start to get the vibe that shonen was not for her, which, fair. It's generally not for me either, only with a few rare exceptions do I enjoy a shonen, so I thought maybe I would throw a little curveball and try something completely different. I really did not think she was going to like Ouran at all. I thought it would still be kind of too goofy and weird for her, but surprisingly she actually really liked it, which made me really happy actually. Now I'm like, what other shoujo can I show her? I'm thinking maybe Fruits Basket, although I can't decide yet if I want to show her the original Fruits Basket or the reboot. I'm leaning a bit more towards the reboot just because I think ultimately it's a better anime, like as a whole. But you know, the original still has a lot of good vibes, very nostalgic. But yeah, rewatching Ouran was a lot of fun. Like, it's definitely of its time. And there are some things that I still don't think aged great. But overall, it is still so much fun. And I always enjoy rewatching old favorites. For my next category, I want to talk a little bit about some books and manga that I've read. One book I was surprised by how much I enjoyed was My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. How do I talk about this book? It's very dark. I will give you the warning right away. Like, it was a very dark book that deals with very mature subject matter. It's about a girl who, when she was in high school, she had a relationship with one of her teachers and kind of goes back and forth in time, both while she was in high school and like the beginnings and development of this relationship, but then also her like in the future as an adult and like reflecting back on that time in her life. Like, it's one of those books where I'm not gonna say I recommend it. It's definitely do your research, look up the trigger warnings and stuff before you go into it, if you think it might be upsetting for you. But if you think you can, like, it's a really good book. And then another book I really enjoyed was Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric LaRocca. I think at one point a few years back this was like trending on TikTok or something, but I only read it very recently. It's really short. It's a novella, so like, I don't want to say too much. I'll tell you it's horror, and it's basically about two queer women, in like the early 2000s, I believe, and they're like, conversing via email. It starts out normal and then gets progressively more and more bizarre and disturbing, and it's really good. Like, again, it's kind of messed up, so again, like, if really weird horror is not your thing, then, you know, maybe don't read it. But like, I quite enjoyed it. Like, Eric LaRocca has a very interesting writing style. Like, I want to read more of their stuff because they have a lot of books out. I've only read because Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke is a novella, like a short novella, but it's in a collection of a couple short stories, and I read that whole collection. It's like 3 stories, and all of them are quite good. Things Have Gotten Worse was my favorite in the collection, but they were all really good, and I definitely want to read more of their work because very strange stuff. I've heard there's some really wild stuff in their most recent collection that came out this year. I'm looking forward to reading it. A little nervous because I've heard one story in particular. I think it's called Prickle. I hear it's real messed up, but I think it could be a good time. And then as for manga, I haven't read a lot of manga this year, but I did read My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness by Nagata Kabi, and I really liked it. It's autobiographical. It's about the author's experiences as a lesbian and being lonely. But it was really well done. The art style is really nice. Like, I don't want to say it's not overly heavy. Like, it has heavier subject matter in parts, but It's told in a way that like feels almost kind of like having a conversation. In some ways it almost felt like reading a webcomic, which I don't know if it was previously a webcomic. Kind of has that vibe to it, but I could be wrong. I know there's even like parts in it where she's talking about like her process, like submitting like manga that she's working on to like contests to try and get published, and I thought that element of it was really cool. Kind of a little glimpse into the manga publishing world that I don't know a ton about, so I thought that was really cool. I would definitely read more of her work. My next category is music, which I also divided into subcategories because, like, you know, my first subcategory is K-pop. I've been really bad at keeping up with recent K-pop releases this year. Like, I feel like I've been so out of the loop. There's a lot of, like, really popular releases I haven't even heard yet, which feels weird. I used to be more on top of this, but I don't know, I feel like I don't want to say I've gotten burned out by K-pop, but it's definitely, I've been burned out by just like everything, honestly. Everything is hard to keep up with for me at the moment. I don't know what's going on. But of the releases that I have listened to that I have really enjoyed, I really liked Eyelet's debut, Magnetic. Like, this song has been just all over, and like for good reason. It's a really good song. It's just a really nice, good vibes. Like, I don't really know how to explain other than it just sounds nice, okay? I don't know how to talk about music, I'm sorry. I know, like, I used to like watching a lot of those, like, K-pop, like, review type of videos where people are, like, really going into, like, why a song is good or why it's bad. I just like it because I like it. It's a good song. Also, I loved, what's her name? Mocha? I think her name is Mocha. Her outfits during some of the stage performances. Oh my god, she's so cute. Look at her. I love this style. Like, I wanna be that cute. Another song that I've really loved this year is IVE's Ascendio. I've been really loving IVE lately. Like, I kinda casually liked them for a little while back. Like, when they first debuted, I was like, okay, they're kinda cool. But, like, they've been growing on me a lot lately, and, like, I think at this point I'm just like, yeah, I stan IVE. Their fandom is Dive, right? I guess I could consider myself a Dive. They're pretty cool. Ascendio was so good. I love the magical girl concept they did. Like, I feel like magical girl concepts are kind of trending at the moment. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of magical girl themed releases in both K-pop and J-pop, and just like magical girl idols are just like a thing now, and I am here for it. I'm loving that so much. I've also recently been getting a lot more into Vocaloid again, which has been a lot of fun. I feel like I kind of didn't stop enjoying Vocaloid, but like I was definitely kind of took a break from it. I was big into Vocaloid. Like, Vocaloid used to be the only thing I listened to, like when I was a teenager. Like, I would almost exclusively listen to Vocaloid, but it's been a lot of fun getting back into them now. Like, I think when I was in college, I didn't really listen to hardly any Vocaloid, but then for the past couple years, I've gotten back into it quite a bit, and I'm having a lot of fun. Mesmerizer might be my favorite release of the year. Like, it's just so perfect. Like, it feels so nostalgic. Like, it feels exactly like the kind of thing that I would have devoured when I was younger. Like, the song itself is really good, but like the music video is like so everything that I love about Vocaloid. It's just so good. And then another song I've been really enjoying, I don't think it came out this year. It's recent-ish, but it might have came out last year. I honestly don't know. But I've been vibing with it this year. It's called You're Telling Me a Shrimp Fried This Rice. Heck yeah. So silly goofy. The music video, again, is what really makes the song. Like, the song itself is so good. It's so silly. But, like, the music video with the Miku plushie is so everything. everything to me. And then my last category is this J-pop / metal. Mostly, I guess, is the more metal side of things. I've been getting a lot into Hanabi, especially their song Otaku Lovely Densetsu. This is so, like, brainworm music for me. Like, it was my introduction to Hanabi, I think. I'm pretty sure this was the first song of theirs that I listened to, and it's still my favorite. Like, I didn't know anything about Hanabi when I, like, got a video recommended to me on YouTube. So, like, I was not expecting it to sound the way that it did. But I am so here for it. And then, of course, I have to mention Baby Metal's most recent release. Their collab with Electric Callboy, Ratatata. It's awesome. It's so fun. I love, again, like, Baby Metal are finally making, like, real music videos. And I am so here for it. Oh my gosh, the cat ear headbands. Oh my god, I, like, almost just, like, lost my mind when I saw that. I was like, oh my god, they're so cute. It makes me so happy. We are back. We are so back. This song is peak. Baby Metal, they are so back. I'm so happy. Like, I'm dying now. I need them to release a new album. Because, like, we are so back. Like, unpopular opinion, I don't even know if I want to share it. I didn't really like their last album. Like, it's not a bad album. Like, all the songs in it are good. It just didn't... The whole time I felt like it was missing something. And I feel like that was kind of the point. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just a bad fan. I don't know. But, with Ratatata and, then Metali that came out last year, like, we're so back. Like, their next album is going to be probably their greatest. Like, I'm calling it now. I think whatever album they release next is gonna be my favorite. I'm so hype. I'm so ready. And then for more, like, J-pop idol songs that I want to mention briefly. I'm getting a lot into Cho Tokimeki Sendenbu, and their song Saijo Kyuni Kawaii no is amazing. It just, again, it's one of those songs that just kind of got recommended to me on Instagram, actually. I kept seeing reels of this song, and I was like, oh, this is very good. And so then I just had to look up the full song, and then started listening to more of their music. They're really good, they're really cute. Another song that has been just taking over my brain lately has been a song by Nanimono, a song called Inkya no Kya Kya Kya. This song is like Coco Melon to me. I don't know how to explain it. It's just so over the top. So, like, I don't even know. But I'm kind of obsessed with them, kind of addicted. I can't stop listening to it. All of their music is really good. I've been really loving their stuff. I love their, like, cyber, internet, video game type concept. I love that a lot. I feel like that's also really popular right now in J-pop. I've been seeing that a lot. But I love their music. I don't know her name yet. But I'm really vibing with the girl who I've just been referring to as the Cinnamoroll member, because like her light blue and white outfit just makes me think of Cinnamoroll. So she's my current temporary Oshi, I might say. Maybe she'll become my real Oshi, I don't know. But I am vibing a lot with this group. As for Kaigai idol music, I've been obsessed with Non-Sweet for the past, like, little over a year now. I've been really, really loving Non-Sweet. And their most recent release, Wake Up, is so good. I love the music video so much. I really desperately hope I can see them live at some point in the near future because they're so good. And then I thought I would end this video with a little mini marshmallow Q&A because I do have a few questions in my inbox that I thought I would answer. And if you guys would like me to do more marshmallow Q&As during videos, go ahead and ask me questions. And maybe in a future video I will answer yours. Honest opinions on Undertale. Did you enjoy it? Favorite character? And finally, favorite part of the game. I did talk about Undertale a little bit earlier, but I'll go a little bit more into it for the sake of this question. So, did I enjoy it? Heck yeah, I loved it. It was so much fun. My favorite character? I mean, I could just be like, oh, I love all the characters, but because I want to be more specific for the sake of the question, my favorite characters, I think my top 2 favorite characters are Alphys and Napstablook. Alphys, because, like, I feel like Alphys is like, sees me, we're the same person. Like, I think it's actually so funny because I remember when I was a kid and I was into Undertale, I loved Alphys too. And like, I was like, oh my gosh, he's just like me for real. But I swear to God, now that I'm older, like, I literally became Alphys. I swear to God, we are the same person. Like, I relate to her even harder now than I did back then. I don't know how that's possible, but yeah. I just grew to become even more of an Alphys. But then I also still absolutely adore Napstablook. I mean, you probably saw on stream how excited I got every time he showed up. He's just so adorable, and I just want to squish him and like give him a hug and hope that he has a lovely day every day because he deserves nothing but love and happiness. And then favorite part of the game is so hard. I don't know, because like there's so much of the game that I loved. I guess the part that's coming to mind right now would probably be going to Temmie Village. I remember during the stream, I think it was during my last Undertale stream, because Vess was there. Going to Temmie Village, and like I was doing the Temmie voices. It was so fun. Alright, and then the last Maro I'm going to answer, I was originally just gonna ignore it, but I'll touch on it a little bit. The question is, hey, I remember you were teaching in Korea. What happened? Do you still teach there? I know for a fact that whoever asked me this question was probably one of my old viewers from before I started doing VTuber stuff, which is totally fine if you're still hanging out here. Thank you, honestly, for keeping up with me. Even though I've drastically changed my content, you know, if you're still sticking around, thank you, I appreciate you. But yeah, I was, for a year, teaching English in South Korea. I lived in Seoul, but now I am back in the States. I am not teaching English anymore. That's really all I'm comfortable sharing currently. I'd really rather not go too much into my personal life on YouTube right now. I'm having much more fun being a silly, goofy computer virus VTuber. But I just don't really feel like talking too much about my life on the internet anymore. I just think it was getting a little bit bad for my mental health to be so open online, but I did want to address this just for the people that maybe were wondering. But don't worry about it, I'm fine. Things are fine. I am happy doing what I'm doing right now. And yeah, I think this video is probably gonna be so long. I'm like worried now about how I'm gonna edit this. But yeah, this is where we're going to end for today. I do want to do more videos like this, because again, I used to make videos like this, and it's fun. I like just kind of rambling into the microphone and just talking about stuff that I'm enjoying, stuff that I'm interested in. So if you like this and want me to make more videos like this, let me know in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe, all of those things. I go live on YouTube every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 8 p.m. EST. I hope you guys are having a lovely rest of your day or night wherever you are. And I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Bye bye!